Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with his good friend, Mr. Stephen Dow from Velocity Mortgage. How you doing, sir?
Fantastic. And yourself?
I'm doing great, man. One of the things we haven't talked about in a while is your program called ARV Pro.
Right.
And I think it's worth a mention because, again, I think, in my opinion, again, every market is different. Your buy box is different, all those caveats. I think there is now a part of the market that is, frankly, too risky to flip it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Every market has a median price. If you're flipping 2-3x the median, good luck to you. Cost of capital, dead days, carry days, not a good look. But if you're flipping below the median, you're flipping first time homeowner stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're still pretty safe. You will probably have construction delays because of windows and all those things. But the owner occupant market is still hot. It is still competitive because landlords, myself included, want to buy there. So let's remind people what the ARV Pro is, why it is beneficial. And then I'm going to caution them, folks, go below the median. Let's not be a hero and go 3x the median. That's not a good look.
No. And again, I forgot on the first video because I missed last video being sick. Yes. And so again, although I work happily for Velocity Mortgage Capital, all the ideas and topics, discussed on this channel are that of my own. So you can edit that into the next video if you wanted to as well. So
yeah, I don't edit videos. My mistake.
Yeah, okay, but I doubt we're not going to get too much show. Long story short, with the ARV program, again, we cover 80% of the purchase price, about 80 to 100% of the rehab, not to surpass 75% of your future value or ARV. So
let's do some math. I just want to sketch this out. So let's assume that we're buying a property 50% of ARV because, again, it needs a lot of work. So let's assume it's a 200K house. You're picking up a fixer for $100,000. Okay.
Right.
Let's assume, again, we're just using simple numbers, $50,000 repair, and you're going to sell it for $200,000.
Right.
And let's assume I'm experienced because there's experience factors and all of this stuff. So again,
well, actually, here's the beauty of that one, Mike.
Okay.
We're one of a very few small lenders in the rehab or fix and flip type window or space that will work with first-time investors.
Oh, awesome. First-time investors paid. Again,
investor.
We're talking a sweet deal here, folks. But again, 200 ARV after repair value. We're picking up for 100 because it's a heavy fixer. And 50K repair, we're going to sell it for 200, forget closing costs and carry all that stuff. So I bring this to you. I give you my plan, give you my scope of work.
Correct.
What are we talking about?
So typically, at that point, I would generate the pre-approval. Depending upon FICO score, your rates are going to range anywhere from, let's see here, as of today's rates. Let's pull that up. Here we go. So on our ARV at minimum 650 FICO, up to 699, you're looking at about 8.25. I can stretch it out a little bit. We got some wiggle room, especially for your callers or for your subscribers. So give me a call. We can go over some compensating factors, and I can work with you on that. But if you're looking at 700 or better, you're in the sevens at least. 7.75, 749, somewhere around there. It is a 12-month interest-only loan.
Nice.
You have 30 days to start the rehab, 6 months to complete it.
Okay.
But it's a 12-month loan, and then
so how much money, man? Stop talking about rates and stuff. How much money you gonna give me?
Again, 80% of the purchase price. So we're looking at 80,000.
So again, I'm a new investor. I'm gonna cut a check or escrow or whatever.
Excuse me. So first time investors. Okay, so just to make sure that we I'm understanding all the dynamics. So we're talking about first time investor. We cover 70% of the loan amount then for first time investor.
Yeah, so that was it. You guys catch this. That's why I said earlier I'm an experienced investor versus new, right? You got to imagine, right? Lenders want to get paid back. First time flipper, you're gonna have to bring an extra 10 grand to the table. You build a track record, you're gonna bring 20.
Then we loosen it back up. Yeah.
Totally cool. All right. So you're gonna come in, you're gonna get a first mortgage. It'll be a year, it'll be interest only. I have 30 days to start, 6 months to finish.
6 months complete. Right. Now here's the other beauty, Mike. Versus conventional financing, where you actually have to have at least 6 months of ownership or seasoning of the property for them to recognize the new higher appraised value after you've rehabbed it. Whereas with us, if we're involved in this ARV, rehab, as soon as you're done, if you got a good crew or if you know what you're doing and you could bang out that rehab in like 2 or 3 months, we'll refinance at the higher appraised value at that point, just so long as the work has been completed, obviously, and there's enough current sales data to support the new higher appraised value after 3 months that you've done.
Yeah,
we can do that at 75%,
nice.
and then refinance them into one of our 30-year fixed loans.
That
So the
is
transition
very cool.
from acquisition into 30-year long-term money, you get to flip your money faster. You don't have to tie in your money into projects from 6 to 12 months. So that's another advantage.
Tell me about that 50K, because you're not done giving me money.
No. So at the 50K, typically, we're going to hang on to that. So at the time of acquisition, we're going to do 80,000. You put down in the case of a first-time investor, you're putting down 30,000. I'm covering 70,000 of that 100,000 purchase. Mm-hmm. You're then with that 50,000 in rehab, we actually escrow that or put that aside, and we break that up into 3 disbursements.
Yep. So
your rehab project is going to be broken up into 3 phases.
Of course.
After each phase is done and completed, we send an inspector out to make sure that the work was done up to code. Mm-hmm. Then we release your first disbursement. Yeah. So again, 3 disbursements. The first disbursement is at 30% of the rehab money. The second is 30% as well, and the last and third is at 40% of the rehab money.
Yeah. So again, let's walk a new flipper through this, right? So again, folks, what you're going to have to do is a new flipper. You're going to bring 30K, probably 35K with closing costs and title and escrow, whatever. Do the math, right. Get the right number. You're then going to front load 30% of the repair, which in this case, we'll call it 15 grand.
Correct.
You're going to have
just have enough to start the project. Correct.
Yeah. You're going to have somebody
at least 3 months of reserves, just for the sake of the fact that the project's actually vacant for that time. That's about all you're really going to need to get this started. And then go ahead, Mike.
Yeah. And then this is why this is how people with low capital scratch can do projects over and over again. Because again, you get to the end of this. And again, this simple example, do your own math. It's going to be worth 200. Let's say it's done at 4 months. You refi it 2 months. You do 75% of 200 grand, which is 150. You've essentially paid yourself back, right? Your 30K you put down, your repair money, you're out transaction cost. I'm not confused, right? Let's say you're out 10 grand because you've gone through 2 transactions. But now you have an asset that's fully remodeled and repaired, and you're off to the races.
Yep.
And you have 30-year money now.
Correct. And of course, you were able to pull out that down payment money to apply to the next project instead of waiting 6 to 12 months. And with this kind of market, you're trying to flip a property, whatever the case is. I mean, price start to, decrease, over time. And so the old saying is time kills all deals. And so the longer that project takes, as far as time wise, it could totally kill your profit. So yeah, I think that, and the fact that you can hold title as an entity versus as an individual.
That's
and we
a
don't
big
report
deal,
to the credit bureaus. Well, because again, without reporting to the credit bureaus, my acquisition loan with the ARV, if for whatever reason, if you can sustain that 6-month period, or and you want to refinance into conventional financing, we still won't impact our ability to get the best rates as well, because our loan won't impact the score. So there's some flexibility and
the other thing I want to remind folks, a lot of people reach out to me going, hey, I want to do this with my brother-in-law or sister-in-law or best friend or whatever. And again, I'm not an attorney, but a lot of you have attorneys that say you got to put it in an LLC to protect everyone. Well, then it becomes hard to get money. That's why you come to Stephen Dow at Velocity Mortgage, because they lend to entities. They don't have 2 years of seasonings and tax returns and all of that. So if you need to do an LLC for protection, it's advice you're getting from an attorney. Awesome. Some of you are stumped because you can't get money at that point. That's why non-QM lenders exist. They don't care.
Correct.
How do you want them to reach out?
sdow@velocitymortgage.com. Again, please put in the subject line the acronym ORAAT, which stands for one rental at a time. In the body of the email, just a simple description of what you're looking for as far as financing, property type, best phone number to reach you at. And then within 24, 48 hours, I'm typically in contact either via email or phone. So that's typically the best way to reach me. But otherwise, looking forward to talking to people.
Awesome. Thanks, buddy.